everyone, it's Max, and today I am here with my January Fairyloot. I'm so excited. This month's theme was Greek mythology or Greek gods and goddesses. Either way, I knew what the book was going to be. I'm pretty sure almost everyone knew what the book was going to be, and I did receive an ARC of it, and I ended up reading in January and loved it. It's a 5-star read, so I'm really excited to own a physical copy of it. Without further ado, let's just get into it. Here we go. So the first item is, of course, the spoiler card that has this great artwork on it, and it's Greek mythology with the spoilers on the back. The first thing that I see is a spatula serving spoon thing. What it says is, did you know food is infinitely more scrumptious when you're in love? And this is from The Lovely War by Julie Berry, which I really enjoyed last year. I know that there has been some controversy with it. I'm still not quite sure what the controversy was. If you do know, just leave it down below. But so be wary going into it, but I did really enjoy it. All right, the next thing looks like maybe a book sleeve, which I haven't gotten in a box in a while. And those little things are just going everywhere. Yes, it is this awesome book sleeve, and it says, but in a solitary life there are rare moments when another soul dips near yours as stars once a year brush the earth. And it's from Madeline Miller. I'm assuming it's the Song of Achilles, which I loved. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So good. I didn't like Circe as much, so I am hoping that this is a Song of Achilles quote. And it kind of makes sense with another soul dips near yours as stars. Like, yeah, it definitely sounds more like the Song of Achilles than Circe. But it's nice, it's sturdy, heavy duty, got a nice interior. It's a nice book sleeve for sure. All right, the next thing is in this little box, and it says ceramic trinket tray. I'm gonna be honest, these are some of my least favorite items to get in boxes because I don't know, like I don't really have a reason for them. You know, it's like, I don't know, I don't really use trays. I use, I guess, more like jars and boxes and stuff. So I'm not as excited about this item. All right, and it's just this couple here, which I don't really quite know who that's supposed to be. But I'll check the spoiler card once I'm done. And it's got bubble wrap, which we always love. All right, the next item is in this little thing. Little bag, I guess. All right, it's an iron-on pouch, another item I don't use. I don't really have any like jean jackets that I wear, and I know that's where a lot of iron-on pouches go, and like, I don't know, I just don't use iron-on pouches, but it is of Medusa, which is awesome, and it makes sense, especially with the book. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any, like, what you use these for besides like jackets and stuff, because I just don't. So, all right, the next item is also in a little bag, like container. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it says Fairyloot exclusive metal bookmark, so I know what it is. And I believe this was advertised, like they talked about that there was gonna be a bookmark. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. Here's the metal bookmark. It's got this like hawk on top, and I believe it's probably a goddess or a hero. It's beautiful. It's really nice, sturdy, heavy-duty bookmark that I'm really into. And I'm really liking this. The next thing I have are the 2 tarot cards, you know, of the month. And it's the 4 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. Honestly, I don't know who these people are. I know, like, in, I think December, it was Crescent City characters, but I don't think these are Crescent City characters. So I am going to have to check that out later. All right, and then what seems to be the last item before the box is an art print of Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase. I was waiting for an item from Percy Jackson, let's be honest. We all knew one was gonna be in here. It's like the most famous mythology series of all time, and I really like this. I think it's a great art print. I love Annabeth, I love Percy, and I'm really excited to have it. Okay, and now the last item is the book, with a couple little goodies that usually go with it. Oh, it's got interesting sprayed edges, but I'm going to grab all the other stuff first. Okay, so as always, here is the letter from the author with an art print, which I love. I just liked this book so much, so I'm just like really excited to have like an art print of them because I loved both of them. Next is the bookmark that has this month's theme on it, Greek mythology and this dude. And then the fairy scoop, which also has next month's theme. And my guess, it took me a long time to realize what this is going to be. I think it's like the Once and Future Queen. I know that's not the title of the book. That's like the title of the series. But it's an Arthurian legend retelling that I think takes place like in the future. But as if like Rome never fell. So there's still a Roman Empire. And our main character has like Celtic magic, which is part of like the clue. It says, our featured book of the month is an epic fantasy adventure full of rune magic, rebellion, and finding where you truly belong. And I know there's a powerful ancient army, so I think it's gonna be that book. I cannot find like any other book that fits this description, but I'm really excited for it. And honestly, that video shouldn't be coming out too far behind this one because it took forever for me to get this Fairyloot. And I know they said that like one item was gonna take a while to get here, and I think it's this one because it says on the back made in China, so probably took a while to get quarantined and everything. But I am pumped for next month's, or I guess kind of this month, since I'm filming and putting this out in February. But that's what I think the book is. Not sure, but that's kind of what I think. All right, and then the book of the month is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. Wow, and this is such a different cover. It's got like her eye, which, you know, I did like the original cover a fair amount. But this is interesting. The games have begun as she's playing for her life. And this, look at these. Ah, I love that there's snakes. And it's kind of like this yellow gold. I like the snakes. And let's see if there's anything under. Oh, the end papers are really cool as well. And yes! Oh, it's so cool. Oh my gosh. Here's the cover, the hardcover. I'm obsessed with this. And it says, the games have begun and she's playing for her life. It also says that on here, which I also really like. And then here's the artwork on the other side of the dust jacket. I love this. I love Lore and her best friend, who now I can't remember his name. I think it starts with a C. But I loved Lore as a main character. I thought she was amazing. And let me just put the dust jacket back on and I'll tell you what this is about in case you haven't heard of it. But Alexandra Bracken is a pretty famous YA author. She wrote the Darkest Mind series and Passenger. And this one is definitely my favorite by her. I've read all of her books and I definitely like this one the most. This is a story where the Greek gods are real and 9 Greek gods pissed off Zeus and he sent them to Earth, and 7 days every 7 years they're mortal and people are allowed to kill them, and whoever kills them then takes their place as god until the next time they're mortal in the next 7 years. And they can stay a god if they stay alive, but if they're then killed, then someone else takes their place. And our main character Lore is the last person in an ancient history, or she's the last family member in an ancient bloodline of hunters, and she's trying to get out of it. But when she is kind of found by the real Athena, one of the last actual gods left, and her best friend who disappeared for 7 years, they want to help her get revenge on the man who killed her family. I loved this. This was the first book that I finished in 2021, and honestly, what a way to start off the year, because it was so good. I just loved the idea. I loved the plot. I really liked Lore. Lore as a main character was so great because she had her faults, but she recognized that. Like, she was quick to anger and she'd be like, I'm sorry, I get angry easily, I'm working on it. And she works on it, which I find, you know, it's hard to find that in a YA main character, especially in a standalone, which this is. And I just really, really appreciated Lore and the story. So I really like this. I do suggest it for everyone. And it's just so much fun, so fast paced. I read it in a day and definitely suggest it. All right, so I'm now gonna read what each item, like who made each item. All right, so the first item in the box is a stunning trinket dish featuring Eros and Psyche from Legendary Love Story Between a Mortal and a God. Right, yes. And this The illustration is by Tara J. I still honestly do not know how to pronounce her name. Their name, I guess, is the best way to put it. But yeah, so this is Eros and Psyche, which I definitely should have known. I just kind of forgot about them, honestly. We absolutely had to include an item inspired by Circe. Okay, so this was inspired by Circe, which I kind of wish it was inspired by the Song of Achilles, but that's okay. And honestly, this quote sounds like a Song of Achilles quote, not a Circe quote. But it does make more sense for it to be Circe because she's a goddess, basically, or like a titan. She's something, but like, you know, in that sort of situation. And it was created, the design was by Chatty Nora. All right, and then the metal bookmark, which depicts Athena, which again, an owl. I should have guessed, I just wasn't really trying. And this was created by Monolime Art. Okay, and then the next item that they're talking about is the wooden spatula, and it's funny, it says, preparing your ambrosia and in an urgent need of a spatula. We understand, even gods need to eat. That's funny. And it was designed by KDP Letters, which I do really like this. I have been starting to cook more, and so this will be very helpful. The iron-on patch was created by Alisa's World. And then the art print was illustrated by @Rs28. And then the, okay, collectible tarot cards were inspired by The Wrath and the Dawn. Right, okay. So, Shazi and Khalid? I feel like it was something like that. Remember, her name is like Shahzabad, like, you know, it's like spelt like really strangely, and like people like keep like debating on how to pronounce it. I think I pronounced it like Shazi, so you know. And yeah, so I did really like this duology. I haven't, you know, read it in a long time, but I did really enjoy it. So all right, yeah, so I think my favorite items are probably, even though it is inspired by Circe, not the Song of Achilles, say the book sleeve or the bookmark, because I just think they're both really, really well done and really pretty. So, yeah. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video.